Hello everyone and welcome to Captain's Videoweblog. We are Sunday, June the 5th, 2016, and in a strange turn of events, the sun has not risen yet. Would you look at that? I mean, you can't really see because of the reflection in the window, but I can assure you, look, how can I do that? You're gonna trust me on that. You're gonna have to trust me. I mean, the light is on. I wouldn't do that in the middle of the day. Yeah. So why do I do that? Why do I film so early when there's a basketball game going on and a football game going on? It's Mexico versus Uruguay. I thought that Uruguay would have, kind of an edge over Mexico. Turns out that Luis Suarez is injured, so he can play right now. And on the other side, Mexico pretty much is at home. They are in Glendale, Arizona, next to Mexico, and there's a lot of Mexican people, well, American people of Mexican origin, descent, or maybe even just immigrated from people who immigrated from Mexico living in Arizona. So obviously the University of Phoenix, I think, stadium is crack full of Mexican people with some Uruguay supporters. You can see them because of their really blue shirts. They are not a lot. So yeah, it's pretty strange to think that some of the stadiums in which the Copa America is going to take place are stadiums that hosted WrestleMania. Like the Davis Stadium hosted WrestleMania last year. The University of Phoenix Stadium hosted WrestleMania 28, I think, or was it 26? I think it was 26 because there was the second match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, so couldn't be 28. The Rose Bowl didn't host any WrestleMania that I know. I think it was supposed to, but then WrestleMania or SummerSlam, it was supposed to, I think the Rose Bowl was supposed to host a WWE pay-per-view in the 90s, but they couldn't afford it, so they went to like a memorial stadium or something like that. Kinda awkward when you advertise your shit about around the venue. So yeah, Mexico is leading 1-0. So I think it was a goal by Chicharito. I could be wrong, but yeah, could be. So why am I filming this so early in the night? Well, mainly because tomorrow in the morning I have to wake up pretty early because I'm apparently going to give a math and physics class. You see, that's one thing. Math. Don't like it a lot. I'm fairly good at it. I really don't enjoy it. Physics, something else. Like 7 years ago, apparently, I really hoped that we have a that was in the old baccalaureate. We had for physics and chemistry, which are the same unit, in the same unit. We had one exam on on paper, some little experiments that you had to do theoretically, and one practical exam. And you could have a physics thing or a chemistry thing, and you picked, and it's going to be something. And the physics things in the last year of high school were pretty complicated. I didn't like them a lot, so I hoped I would get the chemistry experiment, which is making dosing some colored solution of maybe hydrogen and if I don't remember, but it was something you had to see be really precise with the level of the liquid, and I really enjoyed those. Pretty easy. Ended up with the physics thing, but it was, I think, from the first year of high school, so really easy. Like, it was so easy. I had doubts that it was really something that I was supposed to do to graduate from high school. I think it was one of my best grades. Like, I had overall 16. Yeah, my best grade was in Spanish. I had a 19 out of 20, because people will tell you you can get a 20 at this exam. Um, I'm fairly sure that I did not make one mistake. If anything, I may have been a little bit redundant in the part where you had to write about meeting a celebrity, because the only celebrity I had ever met was like Patrick Sebastien, who is a TV personality, but I met him when I was like 5. It was at the house of my sister's late godfather, who was, renting it from René Cole, who is the also dead, the head and the founder of an orchestra, and the good friend of Patrick Sebastien. So sometimes he would come there. I met him, and kissed me on the cheek. And my sister he also kissed her on the cheek, but she cried because she was like 2 or 3. So yeah, it's still a very funny story. Like, it's one of the earliest stories I can remember. Can remember when I was bullied in kindergarten, but no, it wasn't even kindergarten. It was preschool. Yeah, so, it was trouble period when I was young. Um, Still, I met that I wrote that I met Seamus when he wasn't even on ECW. He was like in FCW, and I had read the page for FCW and the roster some months ago, and it was the only name that looked, like I could memorize it, because it was he still had his full name, like Seamus O'Shaughnessy, um, which is very Irish, so more Irish than Seamus itself. So yeah, I was very redundant, because what do I write when you had to describe meeting someone and you did not meet them? Yeah, so because I'm supposed to write, to make some lessons at the end of the morning, the beginning of the afternoon, I have to at least get a little bit washed. I cannot go and say hi to someone. I think it's a friend of my younger sister, so yeah. I mean, I could, but also, at least it'll give me, uh, the chance of just washing away the heat. Like, I woke up from a nap around 7 in the afternoon. It was like super hot, and I hate when it's hot like this. Like, we already closed the blinds pretty much everywhere in the house, and it's going to be that way until the end of September, when the weather, kind of learns to behave because of the floods. Well, the rain. It's not mandatory that this is going to be floods, but it happens. So why not expect them? I mean, last time here the village was flooded was in 1999, and those were pretty bad floods, like appearing on national television bad. Oh yeah. Which means that, like, in a couple of minutes the new episode of Game of Thrones is gonna air. So this is the last thing I will do before going to sleep, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. And sorry about the light. I just cannot, stand in one place. If I stand, I have to walk a bit, um, which is a problem that could be, easily resolved by, sitting down. I thought that some vinegar had spilled, but turns out it might have been potatoes being rotten. More on that tomorrow, if I even remember it. 'Cause, like, that was seriously my own single afterthought. Bye. You see, I'm kind of like J.J. Abrams.